There's no other word for it. It's simply superior. An omega-3 product developed to the highest standards of purity and quality, delivering everything you want, all the benefits, brain, eyes, heart. If you've ever tried an omega-3 product and you were not happy with the fishy taste, folks, you have to try Andrew's. It is truly one of his most beloved products. It is always in the top 10 of favorites and a monster customer pick. Well, the day has come, that one day a year where we offer the biggest value of 2020. So here we go. If you'd like to order 30, 90, 180, 360, or that larger special size, the only time you see it is on a today's special. We have a 720 caps. The normal price will be $320. As you can see, we are under 140. It's better than a buy one, get one on the 360 caps. Really significant savings. If you just hone in, for example, on that one, you're saving way more than you're spending. We're going to talk about no contaminants, no mercury, yes, no fishy aftertaste. We're going to talk about a high potency blend, but in a smaller capsule, as it were, versus other products that you find out there. Andrew, if you look at the reviews, I mean, so many people have so much to say. I wrote down one lady's review, which was simple as this: the obvious choice for maximum health and wellness. And that to me sums it up. If you're gonna have an omega-3 product, let's maximize it by getting the most benefits from it.
Well, we know what we're seeking in an omega-3 product. Certainly in terms of an omega-3 product, you're focusing on EPA, DHA, and perhaps ALA, which is more vegetable source, and perhaps also SDA, stearidonic acid, which I believe now we're the only comprehensive omega-3 product that contains also stearidonic acid and DPA, docosapentanoic acid. So it truly is the most comprehensive. Marcel, come here. Don't work with children and animals, right? So my puppy's getting a little stir-crazy. Oh my gosh. The little guy, that's Marcel. What's going on?
I don't know where Marcel starts and the rug stops, Andrew. He's blending into the rug down there. He blends in.
He's a chameleon. He's camouflage. But when we look at our omega-3 product, and just again, omega-3s, we need to understand. We all know that vitamins and minerals are essential nutrients. Our body can't make them. We must have them, or we suffer deficiency issues and consequences. With omega-3s, it's the same thing. It's the exact same thing. Omega-3s, Marcel, Marcel, come here, buddy. So omega-3s are, come here, bud, come here, Marcel, come here, sit. Okay, good. But omega-3s, again, don't work with animals. But Lincoln is so well behaved, Marcel's just a crazy guy.
He wants attention tonight.
But just like vitamins and minerals, omega-3s cannot be made by your body. They're absolutely essential. And when I say essential, if we know that DHA, the most important omega-3 in my product, not the focus of most products, the focus of mine, and the reason why it's the focus of mine, is basically 2/3 of the dry weight of your brain is DHA. So that's why it's the focus of our omega-3 product. The reason why it's ignored and not focused on by other omega-3 products is because they use the industrial commodity form of omega-3. It's the industrial standard. It's not the health standard for you. It's the industrial standard out in the marketplace. So ours focuses on the ingredient that's most important to you. So if this is an essential nutrient, your body can't make it, and it's 2/3 of the dry weight of your brain, don't you think you would try to make an effort to eat an oily fish every day?
Right.
Or to supplement every day? And again, if you then realize that the retina of your eye, the highest concentration, as much as it's 2/3 of the dry weight of your brain, DHA, the DHA is most highly concentrated in the retina of your eye. And we all know that aging is not kind to the retina, it's not kind to our brain. So again, omega-3s, yes, critically important for heart health, but incredibly important for eye function, the aging eye, the aging brain, for balanced mood, all of these things that really get overlooked when a typical discussion of omega-3s. But if you just look, as they say, structure follows function, that if you just look at the structure of the brain and the structure of the eye, and the fact that the most overwhelming, as important as calcium is to our bone, omega-3s are in much higher concentration in your brain than calcium is in your bone. DHA is a much higher concentration in your eye or your brain than calcium is in your bone. Yet we know how important calcium is to your bones. Imagine the critical nature, the critical role that DHA and omega-3s play to the functioning of your brain, not just the structure. So I could go on and on about the importance of this. The value is incredible, less than 20 cents a capsule for the most sophisticated omega-3 product in the world, but not just scientifically and naturally the most sophisticated, because most omega-3s are synthetic ethyl esters. Most omega-3s give you too much APA and not enough DHA. We do everything right with this product, including making it small enough for everyone to swallow, and also no fishy aftertaste, no upset stomach, no nausea, none of the typical problems of omega-3s. We solve them all, and all we deliver are benefits.
And Andrew, to that end, I'm putting out some of the other omega-3 products that are on the market, and you can see this back layer. These are the other guys, and they're big. I mean, they're really big. This is Andrew's product out front. It's a noticeably smaller soft gel capsule. Andrew, I know this may sound like a silly question. How is it possible to be more potent and with more benefits, but so small in comparison? It's crazy.
I'll answer that in a second, but I was just going to say that the way you did that, it's actually not fair to our capsule because it's in the foreground. And things in the foreground look bigger. Yet even though ours is in the foreground, it still looks much smaller because it is dramatically smaller than those capsules. It's about half their size, and it delivers about 50% more omega-3s. It delivers much more DHA, of course, but overall about 50% more omega-3s. So when you look at our capsule, the reason why, those capsules are made using standard commodity industrial omega-3s. Standard commodity industrial omega-3s means that it has a lower concentration of omega-3s. Ours is a higher concentration. It's not standard, it's not commodity, it's not an industrial byproduct. Ours is custom made for us. Custom made just for us. So the guys are playing with balls now. But this is what happens when I'm not at the studio with you, Adam.
You're making me smile, though, Andrew, and I appreciate it.
No, but again, I'll say one thing. Through this crisis, there are two. They're not really people, although they think they are. at least Lincoln does. There are two people who are very happy throughout this crisis.
Yes.
And it's Lincoln and Marcel because they see me all the time. So I'm constantly working at home, but constantly on the computer working.
Look,
but again. That's Marcel. He's playing with a tennis ball. We have some lights here that we have like little tennis balls on the feet of the lights,
right?
So they don't scratch the floor.
Oh my gosh!
And so Marcel keeps trying to grab the tennis ball, and therefore he's trying to pull over the lights because they're not like the most sturdy lights in the world. So yeah, so this is like a makeshift broadcast from the house. So
this could get interesting real fast. If all the lights go out, we know why. We're extremely busy, and we're thrilled that so many of you are taking advantage of the best savings of the year. Andrew said it in the larger size, less than 20 cents a capsule, which is amazing. Even when you put it up against the other brands that are out there, yes, it's more potent. Yes, it's better quality. Yes, it's better all round, but it's also in so many regards a better price. So let me lead you to our pricing chart so you can see it for yourself. Many new folks who are joining us for the first time, certainly please be our guest. $30, $90, or $180, great values for sure. This is what the pricing normally is. These are our today's special pricing that is available today. They're all on FlexPay. Even the $12.90 30 capsule is on 3 Flex, so really take advantage. Of course, the biggest savings are right down there at the 720. That is a size you cannot typically find. Andrew always tries to have, obviously, maximum omega-3 available online at hsn.com and for presentations, but you can't always get it in that larger size. And I presume, Andrew, the economies of scale, that bigger size, simply the better value.
Oh, well, a much better value. If you just look at the 360 capsule supply, which is $84.90, you multiply that by 2 to equal the 720, and that would be $170. I mean, even if you just did the math, it's another $55 for the extra 360 that you get in the 720. $55 is about what you'd pay for a 180 count today at today's special price. And normally $55 is the price of a 90.
Right.
So you get an extra 360 capsules for the price of the normal 90 capsule supply. So once a year, the quantity of capsules, the quantity of raw materials that we bring in enables us to do this very, very special event. It makes the most sophisticated omega-3 product in the world. We used to have flaxseed oil as a small amount of vegetable-sourced omega-3s in here, and now we've added ahi flower oil. Ahi flower oil is a unique oil, and that ahi flower oil, it contains stearidonic acid, it contains gamma-linolenic acid, in addition to alpha-linolenic acid. So you're getting the most important omega-3s. You're getting DHA, you're getting EPA, you're getting DPA, you're getting SDA, stearidonic acid. You're getting the most sophisticated omega-3 product in the world in this once-a-year event that we get to do. It's delivering it for less than 20 cents a capsule. And mind you, typical omega-3s are a few hundred milligrams. Our capsule is 500 milligrams. So you take either 1 or 2 capsules daily. If you don't have any specific cardiovascular or other issues and your doctor or cardiologist hasn't recommended 1,000 milligrams, then 500 is perfect. And most products you'd have to take 2 or 3 capsules to get there. With us, it's just 1 capsule. So again, you're getting the benefits of all of the omega-3s and balanced correctly. Again, the natural form, typical omega-3s are synthetic omega-3s. Typical omega-3s are in huge pills, hard to swallow, will upset your stomach. And typical omega-3s give you a lot of EPA, and they give you less DHA. DHA is what your brain is made of. DHA is what the retina of your eyes are made of. That's where the focus needs to be, but we uniquely focus on DHA over EPA.
Well, there are many, many, many reviews. When we say over 3,000 5-star reviews, it really is the case over all of these years as it continues to evolve and get better and better and better. I'll read just 2 or 3 of them. I have the charts right beside me. The first one is from Magda in Ohio. Amazing, says Magda. This is the best fish oil I have ever used in my entire life. There is no aftertaste, and it does not make you sick to your stomach like the other brands. I can easily take 2 or more at the same time and not worry. I've been on these for about 1 year now. The price is all worth it. I am so much healthier today than a year ago. Andrew, thank you so much. Your vitamins are the best of the best. The next one, the very best product you will find. I have tried all similar products, and despite the claims that you will not taste it, I did. This product is amazing, does what it says, and there's no aftertaste whatsoever. I will repurchase in the future. I will never buy another similar product. I trust the name behind this product, and you'll be happy with purchasing this product as well. And the last one, love these vitamins. These vitamins from Andrew Lessman, by far, are the best of the best. I've been taking these for 3 years now and just love them. And when they have a today's special with free shipping and handling, you cannot beat the price. I ordered the huge container. I cannot say enough about these vitamins. Thanks HSN and Andrew Lessman for bringing them to us. Andrew, the word that's in my mind there is best, and it's a word that I often use with all of your products. It's interesting to me how many people associate omega products with a bad experience, and I think for anybody out there watching, it's really vital that you know that that is not the experience you will have with this. It's a game-changing omega product.
No, I'm one of those people that associates omega-3s with a bad experience. It's one of the driving forces behind in fact, if I look at omega-3s, if I look at glucosamine, I look at certain products that when I tried to get them before I started my company 41 years ago, it was a horrible experience. So I figured the only way I could get the ingredients I wanted, the quality I wanted, and an experience that didn't make me sick to my stomach was if I made it myself. And that's why I started my company back in 1979, was for just that reason. And to this day, 41 years later, it's still the same products that dominate the market, products that force you to have to tolerate a bad experience. I think that's inexcusable. It's very easy to make a perfect omega-3 product. Maybe other companies would say that's easy for me to say because other companies don't invest in manufacturing. They allow other people to make products for them. So all the products are made by the same contract manufacturers. Ours are different because we make it ourselves. And this product is guaranteed, and the reviews, talking about the product as we do, you can bet if it didn't deliver, the reviews would say that. And instead, this is a product that over 95% of the reviews are positive reviews. About 90% are 5-star reviews. So it's a product that truly does deliver in terms of both the benefits and also in terms of the experience. So not only do you get all the brain, eye, heart benefits of this product, but you're also getting an experience that is going to be pleasant. That's why these reviews read like a love letter. I would imagine if you looked at the reviews, the word best probably repeats more than 1,000 times. The word love is in those reviews probably more than 1,000 times. And that's because this truly is a one-of-a-kind omega-3 product. And then just today I was reviewing some of the research, just recent research. And there was one great study that was something just so ordinary that even with contact lens wearers, because omega-3s lubricate our joints, they lubricate tissues in our body, they lubricate our eyes. So we have tons of reviews that talk about dry eyes, but there was a great clinical study talking about the comfort for contact lens wearers, because obviously a moisture, better lubricated eye is going to handle those contact lenses more comfortably. So it's the more you read, the more you learn. And I was just going to look at I have some charts here if we could show them. These are just some basic charts. Let me get this so it's facing better. There we go. Are we positioned well? Looks like we're a little to the right or left. But our omega-3s guarantee no fishy aftertaste, no fishy repeat, no stomach upset, no mercury, lead, or heavy metals, no PCBs, dioxins, contaminants, no enormous capsules. I used to be told years ago when I used to talk about the purity that I was exaggerating, that it was something that wasn't important. Of course, a number of years ago, we all learned how important it was because there are a number of omega-3 products on the market that actually did contain contaminants. So we are extra vigilant, constantly monitoring. As I always say, we trust all the sources of the raw materials we might get from around the world. But as much as we trust them, we validate everything. We test everything. We have our quality department is enormous. It's one of the largest departments in our company that is basically focused on managing, on testing and validating the quality of every raw material and every product we produce. But there's some more charts here. If we could maybe just stay on the charts here for a second, I'll go through them. All omega-3 fatty acids, as I said before, they can't be made by the body. They can only come from diet or supplements. Without adequate omega-3 intake, deficiency or insufficiency occurs. And when you look at that deficiency or insufficiency, when we realize that's what makes up our brain, that's what makes up our eyes, it's something we just would not want to be without. And the best results are only achieved when consumed daily. The American Heart Association recommends that oily fish, be a consistent part of a healthy diet. They help support and maintain normal triglyceride levels. That's where they're at their very best. Normal blood pressure levels, normal blood cholesterol levels, normal blood sugar levels. And then just to give you a sense that omega-3s are not a Johnny-come-lately ingredient, more than 27,200 papers have been published on the benefits of omega-3 fatty acids, including more than 4,950 meta-analyses and systematic reviews. More than 3,300 human clinical trials have been published on the benefits of consuming omega-3 fatty acids. 3,300 human clinical trials. I would imagine that the typical medication that might be really well established probably has a few dozen clinical trials. So it gives you a sense of the validation that comes with omega-3s. But again, even without the science, if all I knew was that 2/3 of the dry weight of my brain was DHA,
right?
If all I knew that is as concentrated as in my brain, the retina of my eye, it's much more concentrated in the retina of my eye, even than it is in my brain. That if I just knew those structural facts, those facts about the composition of my body, I would understand, and I knew that my body couldn't make omega-3s, even though it was vital for my brain and eyes and heart, the lubricating system of my joints, lubricating system of my eyes. If I knew it was vital for all those systems, yet my body couldn't make it at all, you can bet I would be focused on getting it from my diet, which most Americans do not at all, or I'd be supplementing it.
I mean, the strong words and the powerful words, and quite honestly, the compelling words. I mean, there is a clear and concise argument for why we do need to be thinking about an Omega product, and that's why today is an important day. As we spend a lot of time at home and we're organizing the everything drawer time and time again and cleaning everything up and trying to take care of all the things that are going on, it's certainly a time of reflection where we think of, well, what are we doing for ourselves? What positive things can we do? What decisions can we make for ourselves and our family, our loved ones, that can benefit? And when Andrew talks about the brain or eyes or the heart, we know an Omega product is that important. Now, can it be affordable? The answer is yes. I mean, we're talking less than 20 cents a capsule. So really an affordable opportunity to help give our body what it needs, what it's craving, what it desires. Andrew is always forthright in saying, diet, diet, diet. In an ideal world, we'd have that perfect diet. For anybody out there that knows that they're not getting that perfect diet, this is a great opportunity to give yourself something that we also richly deserve. I want to show you what most people are shopping for tonight. The biggest savings are in the biggest sizes because today is the day. This is the day in 2020, April the 5th, the largest, biggest, most valuable offer on our today's special is happening right now. So free shipping and handling, $139, down from $319 and change. So you're saving a lot more than you're spending. You're saving $180. We were looking at all the different ways to kind of analyze it. It's better than a buy one, get one when you compare it to the 360. So price-wise, certainly attractive. There's no doubt about it. For anybody who is joining us, this is one of two today's specials. In about 15 or 20 minutes, we will be moving on to Choco Nouveau, the best tasting chocolate in the world that also helps to lower cholesterol. It's heart healthy, it's organic, it's fair trade. So we're going to do Choco Nouveau. If you'd like to add this to your shopping cart at the same time, it's a good way to go. And again, we have all those sizes, 30 servings through to the 360 servings with free shipping and handling. So Choco Nouveau, last chance before it goes away for the summer, and of course our omega-3 product. Earlier, I lined these up, the usual suspects, what most of us associate with an omega product. And Andrew, I mean, I've put them in a straight line now. I'm trying to be as fair as possible. I can't I mean, they're huge. I don't know how else to say it. These are gigantic in comparison. Look, I'll put those two side by side. You would not believe, well, you certainly would understand why a lot of people refuse to take a capsule that's sized like that.
And what's amazing is that capsule adjacent to the small one contains less omega-3. It contains more of whatever their fish oil might be, and it also contains other additives, but it contains less omega-3. And when you get an omega-3 product, notice we don't call it a fish oil product. When you get an omega-3 product, it's all about the omega-3 product, the omega-3 in the product, the actual omega-3 fatty acids. That's what determines the content, that's what determines the quality. And again, our omega-3 product is the natural triglyceride form. When we think about fats in our body, in our bloodstream, we think about triglycerides. In fact, one of the greatest attributes and benefits from a great omega-3 product is that it helps support healthy triglyceride levels in our body. The typical omega-3 product isn't in its natural triglyceride form. It's in an ethyl ester form. That ethyl ester liberates trace amounts of alcohol in your body, ethanol, when it's processed. They're not as available, not as bioavailable, not as beneficial. They're just not natural. But again, in the fish oil industry, the commodities control. And what commodities mean is more EPA than DHA, even though DHA is the defining fatty acid. It's basically the exclusive fatty acid in your brain. And again, the weight of your brain, if you remove water, the weight of your brain without water is 2/3 DHA. 2/3 DHA. If that doesn't excite you about the opportunity that DHA presents, and especially think about the fact that most Americans have a DHA deficient or insufficient diet, an omega-3 insufficient or deficient diet. Think about the fact that our eye, our retina, is almost exclusively, when you look at fatty acid, DHA.
Right.
Higher concentration of DHA in the retina of the eye than even the brain, which is about 2/3 DHA. So when you think of those organs and the requirements they have structurally, functionally, and that we don't get adequate amounts of omega-3 and DHA from our diet, it just underscores the absolute essential requirements that we supplement. It doesn't have to be mine, but you need to make sure you're getting adequate levels of DHA and adequate levels of EPA, the omega-3s we need.
Well, the information that you're giving us as well, Andrew, is so valuable. And that's why all we ask is, if you're currently taking an omega-3 product, if you compare Andrew's omega-3 to the one you're taking, Andrew was just discussing, the various forms and most of the synthetic form. Perhaps yours is not as good as this. And a lot of us, that can be disheartening because we put a lot of faith and trust in what we buy and what we shop for and fancy advertising. But when you really get down to the nitty-gritty, when you look at the facts, and we have to look at the facts, there really is no comparison, and that's why over 3,000 reviews declare this to be the best of the best. I'll read a couple more of these reviews because they go on and on and on. This next one, short and sweet, it says, the best of the best. This is the only omega-3 supplement I would ever use. I have been taking them for many years. No burps. I trust this line of supplements to be pure. I love them. Again, remember, no fishy aftertaste. Essential omega-3, best fish oil in the world. It doesn't taste fishy. We don't gag anymore while taking a fish oil supplement. My husband and I both take it, and I won't do without it. Last one, the only fish oil that worked for me. Our family has been ordering Maximum Essential Omega-3 for 6 years. I still remember the time when I tried a few store-bought brands and had to abandon them within a few days. They would cause stomach pains and fishy burps. When I tried this one, no such problems. I have stuck with it ever since. Andrew's omega-3 has worked consistently. Benefits include better ability to handle stress, sharpness of the brain and vision, relief in joint discomfort as well. Thank you, Andrew. So it seems to be a common thread, Andrew, that many folks have wanted an omega-3 product. We've tried omega-3 products. We understand the benefits to the brain, eyes, and heart, but we've been put off with other products, the size of them, the aftertaste. It's not a happy experience. So for many of us, as our reviewer said, we just abandon it altogether.
Well, the other products really aren't designed with the person taking it in mind, both from two standpoints: delivering a benefit that someone is going to enjoy when they get the product, and also delivering an experience that won't get in the way of any benefit they'd experience. So meaning that they don't consider the form, they don't consider what's being delivered in terms of giving you a benefit. Then they don't think about how they go about delivering that benefit, and that it's going to create a terrible experience, that it's going to be hard to swallow, because most omega-3s, everybody knows, they're enormous. So you want to deliver a product that's going to be easy to swallow, that won't upset the stomach, that has no fishy aftertaste, that provides omega-3s in their natural form in a ratio that follows the blueprint in fish. Fish provide more DHA than EPA. The typical omega-3 product provides more EPA than DHA. It's backwards. We, on the other hand, follow Mother Nature's blueprint. It's in its natural form, it's in its natural balance, and it won't upset your stomach, and it will be easy to swallow, and there'll be no funny, fishy aftertaste or burps or repeats at all. But I had some charts here too. We actually have some charts. So I had some charts that we could grab here. I think, are they there? On my monitor here, it looks like they're kind of over to the right a little bit, but maybe they're not. They're good? Okay. My doctor approved. My doctor told me I needed to take omega-3 supplements for my cholesterol. I actually brought her the bottle of Andrew's capsules, and she reviewed the ingredients and the amounts of each. She said, this is exactly, we didn't add the capital letters there, what I need to be taking, and in the right amounts. 2 capsules a day, literally doctor approved, at least for me. And I think, well, since our product follows the research, I'd be astounded if any doctor could not approve this, because it's all based upon the research and the science. Wow. My doctor wanted me to take an omega-3 fish oil. These are the only omegas I've tasted that don't have that fishy taste. Easy to digest, and I'm confident that I'm getting the nutrients my body needs. I feel better too. Best omega-3. I've been told by several doctors that I need to take omega-3s, but could never get past the fishy taste of them until I tried Andrew's. These are the best, and there's absolutely no fishy aftertaste at all. I highly recommend these for anyone who needs to take omega-3s, and that's from Nicole in Maryland. Doctor recommended. I went for my yearly eye exam. I'm 65, and my doctor recommended that I start taking omega-3s. We see that used to be just from cardiologists. Now we see it from neurologists. We see it from psychiatrists. We see it from ophthalmologists, opticians, optometrists, again, because it's critical for the structure of the eye, the brain. He said that it will help with not only my eyes, but also my brain. I took your product to him, and he said that these are fantastic. So I will be on these as a supportive measure for my eyes and brain. Fantastic omega-3. All 3 of my family members take this product. It's hard finding an omega product that has enough DHA, exactly, that my doctor recommends. Most of them do not provide enough, but this one does. When taking 2 capsules, plus it doesn't repeat. Love this omega. Excellent. I love this product. All 3 of my family members take this. Our doctor told us to take an omega-3 with higher DHA, and this one has it. Plus, there is no burping up, and it's easy to take the smooth capsule. One more. Daily must. My doctor told me to keep taking these. He said they were really helping me, and that my blood is doing much better since I began taking them. Keep up the good work, Andrew, from an avid fan of your products from Garnet in Colorado. What I was just going to say quickly, just because I've noticed this lately, it's become a pet peeve of mine. It seems like every single product conceivable is being sold for its immune support and immune protective benefits. We don't have to talk about immune protective benefits for omega-3s because omega-3 delivers other benefits. Immune support, immune protection benefits, it's not on the list of omega-3. So again, it's something that other companies might try to extend or tout that kind of benefit for omega-3, but it's not fair. Omega-3s are absolutely essential structural components for a healthy brain. And if you look at the American diet, we should worry about our brains. It's absolutely a structural requirement for our eyes. And if you look at our diet as Americans, unfortunately, we should worry about our eyes. So one thing we need to focus on is either making sure we're eating oily fish on a very frequent basis, at least a few times a week. And if we're not doing that, we need to supplement omega-3s. Even a bad omega-3 supplement is better than nothing, but an omega-3 product that's arguably the best in the world, that's less than 20 cents a capsule and provides the levels we provide in a small capsule that won't upset your stomach, that's a great opportunity.
Andrew, perhaps a silly question, forgive me for asking. When we talk about diet and you know, consuming fish, is it better to have a variety of different fish, or if I'm having the same fish all the time, is that just as good?
Well, for me, you need to have fatty fish, because fish that isn't fatty, oily fish is not delivering the omega-3s. In fact, I was just reading a study again today. I was reading a number of studies on omega-3s, and they specifically said that. So that it needs to be a fatty, oily fish that delivers omega-3s, obviously, or it's not delivering the benefit. I like to have a variety of fish. The reason why, it's going to sound a little strange, that fish can tend to have some issues with contaminants and heavy metals. My product, absolutely none. We rigorously monitor and test and validate the content of our products, and we've always done that for over 3 decades. We make sure it's pure. So when it comes to fish, because of that, I try to eat a variety of fish. So in case any one type of fish I'm eating is problematic, well, I don't tend to eat tuna anymore, swordfish anymore, or shark anymore, just because they can be high in mercury and heavy metals. But I tend to try to have a variety of fish, not for the reason of omega-3s, but for the reason of other things I might be getting and not really wanting to get too much of.
Well, thank you for answering. We love spending this time with everyone at home. Our time on our today's special with regards to omega-3 is coming to a close. We're about to move on to Choco Nouveau. We'd love for you to place your order tonight. I know there's a lot on everybody's mind, certainly when these days come, and Andrew is only here a handful of times per year. If you'd like to take advantage of the biggest savings, this day represents the single biggest saving on Andrew's world-famous omega-3 products. So let me go through it. We start with the smallest capsule count, which is 30, and we work our way down to 720. The 720 count is not normally available. It's available today because it is a today's special. This is the pricing that you would typically expect to see. These are the prices that are good for today or while supplies last. And of course, as you would imagine, a lot of Andrew's regular customers and fans, and I say fans because quite honestly, that's what so many folks regard themselves as when you read the reviews. I am a big fan too. You know, most of us are going for the larger sizes to maximize the savings. And certainly we know that we're gonna take it, we know we're gonna use it. It does not matter what size you buy. If you want to try it and you're conscious of getting the biggest value for money, even if you choose the 720 caps and you get it home, just to experience it for yourself. You've heard everybody say there's no fishy aftertaste and you don't believe it. Please be our guest. There is a 90-day return policy. So we would want nothing else but for you to get it home and really sample it and give it a go. If you've tried every other vitamin out there, every other omega-3 product out there, and you've not tried Andrew's, please, please, please experience it. I promise you will not be disappointed. That's why we read all the reviews. There are 3,000 of them. Virtually perfectly rated. That's what's amazing. Andrew, before we go to Choco Nouveau, it is a big day today. One thing that stands out to me, Andrew, the pricing, it's not an inexpensive product. I mean, always a good value, even our regular prices, but this really is a premium priced product if it was not for today's special pricing.
Well, it's, you know, omega-3s, the typical omega-3s you see in stores, they're affordable all the time. Ours is really affordable once a year, but they're commodities. They are, most of them, as I said, are ethyl esters. Most of them are going to have an unpleasant experience associated with taking them. It's a large capsule. It's an industrial form, a synthetic form of EPA and DHA. It's going to be an industrial balance, a commodity balance. So these are products that are really not designed to be by in any way, shape, or form a quality product. They're just designed to satisfy a basic commodity requirement of omega-3. It's going to be an unpleasant experience, and it's not going to deliver the benefits that you deserve. So it's going to be both unpleasant to use, and you're not going to be experiencing benefits after you've used it. This is a product that's solely designed to deliver benefits. And to do so without any issues, problems, difficulties. And that I was just noticing on the monitor here. That's the beautiful natural color of our product. There is no other coloring agents or other components in there whatsoever. You are just looking at the beautiful natural color of our product. And again, that tiny little capsule delivers more omega-3 than the big capsules you add next to it. That tiny little capsule delivers 500 milligrams of omega-3s. And again, I wish, I'm not trying to be alarmist here or anything like that. Lord knows we have enough things to be concerned about in the world. And again, it's something that we should carry with us 365 days a year is being conscious about what we put in our body in terms of what we eat and also in terms of how we supplement. And most of us normally don't get sufficient levels of omega-3s. And again, our brain is made of omega-3s. The majority of our brain is DHA. The majority of it is DHA. And even more of the retina of our eye is DHA. And we get very little DHA in the American diet. We don't get enough. We get very little omega-3s in our typical American diet. So it's something that if you care about your brain, you care about your eyes, and it's no wonder, really, when you look at the omega-3 content in the American diet, it's no wonder that with age, we struggle with those structures in our body, with our eye and our brain. I think one of the main reasons is that our diet doesn't deliver significant amounts of the key ingredients that's not just necessary for their structure, but their function. Obviously, their structure is designed to deliver certain functions. And if you're not delivering adequate amounts to provide for that structure, then function ends up suffering. And the last thing we want to suffer is the way our brain or the way our eyes or even the way our joints or other systems in our body, our heart and cardiovascular system functions.
Well, thank you so much for shopping with us on our first of two today's specials. We see you there, and of course, stay in the ordering process. If you're adding it to your shopping cart, make sure you check out. That is just the first chapter of this story, though, this evening, because that was today's special number one. We're now going to segue to our second one. I should never pick favorites, but I do. I have to because I love chocolate. I know it's a guilty pleasure of mine, and for anybody watching, we are about to wow you, and I say that word, and I mean it in all sincerity, with the best tasting chocolate, in my opinion, that money can buy. Creamy, flavorful, delicate, gorgeous. If you love chocolate, you're gonna love Andrew's Choco Nouveau. But this story has a lot of firsts in it. Not only is it organic and fair trade and all the things that we'd love to have in chocolate, but Andrew, you have created chocolate that is also heart healthy, that can help lower cholesterol. And you've also created a chocolate that is astonishingly reviewed. 2,604 reviews, nearly 2,000 of them perfect 5 stars. I always look forward to this day, Andrew. I know it has to go away for the summer because we can't ship when it's hot out there. But boy, I already placed my order before I came on air tonight. I got the big size. I love Choco Nouveau.
Choco Nouveau is, and it's sounds funny that I have to emphasize this because I think everyone would take for granted that I would make a special healthy chocolate. That's what I've been doing for 41 years, is making healthy products that are all about our health. But our chocolate, as much as it is the heart healthiest chocolate in the world, in that it delivers all the benefits of dark chocolate and the protective polyphenols for our heart, but beyond that, it substantially lowers total and LDL cholesterol, like no other chocolate can in the world. But what it also is, it's the only dark chocolate in the world that's creamy.
Right.
It's creamy like milk chocolate, but it tastes like dark chocolate. It's not bitter. It doesn't have too much sugar. Again, if we look at the levels of sugar, our 91% could be labeled 0 sugar, sugar-free. Our 74% has just over a gram of sugar. That's about 1/4 of a teaspoon of sugar. So, and 25 calories. So it's incredibly efficient, incredibly delicious. And if you look at the pricing, the cholesterol-lowering ingredient alone would be worth the cost of this product. And then if you look at the most gourmet treats, chocolate squares on the market, they'll cost more than the price today.
Yeah.
They will not taste better than ours. They will not be a better quality chocolate than ours, because I really searched the world and we found the best quality chocolate in the world. So ours is the best quality chocolate. It's the best tasting chocolate. It's the creamiest dark chocolate in the world. And most Americans, we love dark chocolate, we love milk chocolate, we love white chocolate.
Yeah.
If you look at the surveys, we're not known for loving dark chocolate. And even if you read the reviews on this product, you'll read a lot of people saying, hundreds of people saying, normally, I don't like dark chocolate, but this is different.
Yeah.
So this is creamy. It delivers the texture of milk chocolate. And if you're taking a cholesterol-lowering drug, this is a product that works perfectly with that drug. All it will deliver is an even lower cholesterol number. So it delivers the benefits in terms of cholesterol reduction. You could give it to children. It's not a drug. It's not a medicine. You could have as many of these if you wanted as you might want in a day. But the way you use it for cholesterol reduction is just 2 squares with your 2 largest meals. If you have a square with each meal, it will only lower your cholesterol more and even more effectively.
Well, in terms of pricing, today being the biggest day of 2020 to be able to order Choco Nouveau, the savings are fabulous. I'll take you through 30 servings. There's a 60, a 180, or a 360. I know I love it, and I kind of keep some here at work. We have them at home because I like to snack on them as well. So I went for the largest size, really big savings. You're saving nearly as much as you're spending, which is fantastic. If you and I and Andrew went to the mall, if it was open, but if we went to the mall, to the gourmet chocolate store, you know how much money you would spend on that. That's for sure. On top of that, we are doing 5 flex pay if you go for the largest size, and free shipping and handling. Quick heads up, if you choose the 360, and you buy an additional, you get $10 off. So we are doing a bonus buy tonight as well. So if you buy an additional of the same size, you are gonna get $10 off. The other thing to bear in mind, Andrew is making available for the first time ever, Choco Nouveau Cafe. It was launched in about February. A big hit. If you love coffee, you love the coffee flavor, you're gonna love Choco Nouveau Cafe. It has that little kind of crunch to it as well, which is magnificent. So there's really something for everybody. Andrew said it's individually wrapped, which is always nice. When friends or family come over, Andrew, I offer them Choco Nouveau. And there's always, first of all, it's always an icebreaker because people are always intrigued of what is this and where's it from and, why does it taste so darn good? But then when I hit them with the heart healthy story, nobody can believe it.
No, it's truly unique, truly surprising, that the natural ingredient, and this is Mother Nature at her best, the natural ingredient, cholesterol is a fatty molecule. It's a waxy fatty molecule. If you put cholesterol in this product, it would make it creamy, like milk fat makes milk chocolate creamy. But of course, we're not going to put cholesterol in this product. But plants have an equivalent molecule to cholesterol. It's called a plant sterol. So we use the cholesterol that comes from plants. But guess what that cholesterol from plants does? It blocks the absorption of the animal cholesterol. So it's really not plant cholesterol. It's something called a plant sterol, a phytosterol. So those phytosterols from plants block your absorption of cholesterol significantly, about 40%. So it dramatically lowers total and LDL cholesterol. And guess what? Because it's a waxy, fatty molecule, it behaves like milk fat in our chocolate. So we turn to dark chocolate, which dark chocolate is normally dry and bitter. We turn to dark chocolate into the creamy texture of milk chocolate. So it truly is, if we only offered this because it was the best tasting dark chocolate in the world, it would be a huge success.
Yeah.
And if I never said anything about the cholesterol benefits, because I think the more I talk about the health benefits, the more people think, oh God, it's got to be bad. We're used to, I remember cod liver oil. The things that are good for you must taste bad. So it's sort of, I think it runs against our intuition or our expectations that a product that's going to be so healthy is going to taste good. And the funny thing is that for centuries, chocolate was viewed as this decadent treat. So obviously it couldn't be good for us. It's decadent.
Right.
But we now know, as much as we know that red wine is a source of protective compounds, chocolate outdoes it by far. As much as we know green tea is a rich source of protective compounds, chocolate outdoes it by far. And again, when I selected this chocolate, we made sure that not only did we select the chocolate for being organic, for being fair trade, for not being bitter, because Americans don't like bitter, but I also selected it for its polyphenol count, the protective polyphenols. So I consume chocolate not just because I love the taste, but I love the fact that as much as I enjoy green tea for its protective compounds, that is the main reason why I enjoy chocolate. And my chocolate, what we did when we made it creamier, like milk chocolate, and delicious and melt in your mouth, unfortunately means it melts in the summer. So this is the last, you won't see it again until next October. So we'll see this visit. This will be the last airing of Choco Nouveau till next October, so 6 months away. But it's an opportunity to get a product that really is surprisingly delicious, because it's absolutely unassailably the best in terms of heart health. There's no chocolate like it in the world, but there's also no dark chocolate in the world that delivers the same texture, the same creaminess, the same rich flavor without bitterness. And again, if you look at sugar levels, blueberries, 25 calories of blueberries contains more sugar than Choco Nouveau, any of the Choco Nouveau forms you see there. 25 calories of celery or cucumber contains more sugar than any of these products. So again, it's designed to be the perfect chocolate in the world. Health benefits and delicious, creamier than anything else you'll see.
So if you'd like to place your order, it is compelling though when you hear it, because it's easy for Andrew and I to say it, because we've tasted it. You've not tasted it yet. For so many folks who are joining us for the first time, imagine your favorite chocolate now times 10. That's what this tastes like. But on top of that, it's more heart healthy. It's gonna help lower cholesterol. It sounds amazing, because it is. It was a breakthrough. It was a revolution. It's an innovation that Andrew and his team brought to life, and we're so thrilled that they did. You know, we talk about reviews, 2,604 reviews, nearly 1,900 of them are perfect 5 stars. If you order tonight any of the sizes, even the larger size, if you get it home and you take a bite and you don't love it, of course you can return it for a refund of the purchase price. We would not want you to keep it. But when we talk about organic and fair trade, Andrew said no bitterness, and it's not dry. It is creamy. There's a gorgeous texture to it. It does melt on the tongue. So it's moreish, but it satisfies you. So when I You know, I do have a sweet tooth, but when I'm craving a little something, I'll open up a square. I like that it's individually wrapped. Again, low calorie as well, but I open up a square and I munch away on this and I'm happy. It gives you what you need. Don't forget that bonus buy. If you buy a second, in the largest size, you can take off an additional $10. Our producer, Allison, just let me know that a lot of folks are doing that. In fact, over 75% of our orders are in the larger size. This is that last day of the year to guarantee the biggest savings before it goes away for the summer. And Andrew, just to touch on Choco Nouveau Cafe, because this is another fabulous taste and a great addition to the line.
We've been fielding requests, as I always say, that everyone who uses our products, you basically design our future products. So we've had all sorts of requests for chocolate with coffee. That was the first and most popular. Chocolate with mint or chocolate with orange, chocolate with different types of nuts and things like that. So the first one we did was our Choco Nouveau Cafe. Not easy to accomplish, of course, because we don't want to add any other additives. We just want to keep it simple. So the only ingredient we added to this versus our other Choco Nouveau was the coffee. Organic, fair trade, not bitter. And again, because of the nature of the coffee, there's only about 2 milligrams of caffeine. To give you an idea, a cup of coffee is about 150 milligrams of caffeine, I believe. So to get 2 milligrams in a piece, I think it's less than 5 at most. It's an insignificant amount of caffeine in each square. So it really is not something that's going to be a problem for anyone. But the flavor is amazing. It truly is remarkable. The reviews have been incredible thus far. So I think you'll absolutely love it. What I was going to do is I was going to read some reviews. We just have some great testimonials here that I was going to read here, if we can get them right here. It's kind of fun doing this. I mean, it's amazing we're able to do this by live. I think we're using Skype, so we're live TV.
Incredible.
I'm 3,000 miles away from you, and it's pretty amazing. So it's exciting we get to do this.
Yes.
That so much in the world has changed. I just feel good. For me, I got to put my blue shirt on and a tie, a little bit of normalcy for me. So amazing. This is the best fish oil I've ever used in my entire life. There is no. I think we have omega-3 testimonials here. Uh-oh.
There's a new chocolate with fish oil in it. That's a good idea.
Let me see where, unfortunately, these were not labeled correctly.
I have some, Andrew, if you'd like me to read some. I think I have some. I'll read the first one, and if Andrew gets his, then he can take over for sure. But here's one. Really works. I have high cholesterol and take a prescription drug to help. Last year's physical, my cholesterol was 191. Last month, after using Choco Nouveau, my cholesterol was 167. My doctor and I were both so surprised with the drop in count. I told him what I was taking and he said, keep it up. I definitely will keep using Choco Nouveau as part of my daily routine. It tastes delicious and it really works, says Carly in California. My cholesterol numbers dropped. I understand why this product is always out of stock. Once you try it, you will not want to be without. The first time I ordered it, I was able to take 2 squares a day for 2 months before my annual physical. My cholesterol dropped from my previous year by over 20 points. I'm not a huge fan of dark chocolate, but I do enjoy the taste of these squares. I am not a fan of taking pills, so that was an added bonus. I mean, these just go on, folks. Here's Susie in Florida. Let me tell you, says Susie. A couple of years ago, my LDL was 175. At my next annual physical, my LDL was 173. About 6 months ago, I began enjoying Choco Nouveau. At my annual physical in October, my LDL was 119. Neither diet nor exercise changed. I'm holding the paperwork that proves it works. Proves it works. Wow. I wasn't sure how long I was taking this product. I was skeptical that it would change my cholesterol. I had blood work done in December, so I was taking since March, just 9 months. Oh my goodness, my cholesterol went down from 138 to 92 from December of 2015. All my labs were perfect this year, all thanks to Andrew. Love the products. And it's important to know, folks, as we go through all of these amazing reviews, it's not just about the fact that it's a healthier chocolate. It is a gorgeous, delicious, beautiful chocolate. So it really is, Andrew, I'm always torn between the health aspect and the gourmet taste of it. It's just, it's a wonderful marriage of the two together.
Yeah, and there are as many testimonials there are on the cardiovascular benefits, the heart health benefits, the cholesterol reduction benefits. There are probably 2 or 3 times more on the absolute surprise, how astounded everyone is that when they get this home. And I'm someone, if you've used any of my products, you know that I take what I do very, very seriously. And if I can't make the best product in the world, I don't want to make it. And I constantly will endeavor to improve that product, even when we introduced a fantastic product that I thought was the very best it could be when I introduced it. As we go along, we continue whatever becomes available in the marketplace that enables us to improve a product, we will continue to improve that product. And this Choco Nouveau is truly something that when you get it home, you will be astounded. If you like milk chocolate, you'll love the 66%. If you love dark chocolate or truly dark chocolate, the 74 and 91% will blow you away. You will be surprised that, well, first of all, the quality of a chocolate, that goes to the grower. So we're relying on the grower, the person who grows and fabricates that chocolate to start with. You can go to Africa, you can go to South and Central America, and you can go to Asia. Those are the 3 principal regions on the planet that grow chocolate, that create chocolate. We found, or I found in going through my taste testing, and I tested hundreds and hundreds, if not totally thousands of varieties by the time I was done. We found the best chocolate in terms of protective compounds, but not bitter, because most Americans are like me. You want that rich, dark chocolate experience, but you don't want a bitter experience. And then you don't want to have to add a whole bunch of sugar to compensate for that. So we got our chocolate from South America, and our chocolate, I'm salivating just thinking about it. I have to get a bar in a second, to the square in a second here. But our chocolate delivers, it is the best organic fair trade chocolate you'll find anywhere in the world. No one else is going to find a better source and a better quality of chocolate than we have. And then no one will make that chocolate better than we have created the product. By adding these plant sterile esters, these phytosterol esters, it's like adding milk fat to milk chocolate. It makes it creamy and melt in your mouth like you hear them talk about those candies. But our dark chocolate melts in your mouth. Dark chocolate typically doesn't melt in your mouth. It's something you chew. It's kind of gritty and mealy, kind of nutty. Well, it is a nut. And because dark chocolate is so rich and concentrated, 91%, it's 91% cocoa nut or 74% cocoa nut. It should be dry and nutty. Why isn't ours dry and nutty? Because of the ingredient that lowers your cholesterol that behaves just like milk fat, but it isn't unhealthy like milk fat. It lowers your cholesterol, so it's truly remarkable.
If you want to take advantage, the pricing, as we've shown, is phenomenal today. Choco Nouveau or Choco Nouveau Cafe, the new version with coffee. You can choose 66%, 74%, or 91% cacao. My favorite is the 66%. I know the overall favorite is that midway at 74, but you cannot beat the value and the pricing for certain. Take advantage while we've got it. I know we can never meet the demand, obviously, in the summer months. So it pays dividends to stock up, especially where we're staying more at home. Andrew, thank you so much for being with us tonight. I know you return live at, is it noon Eastern?
Noon Eastern time, 9 a.m. tomorrow here. Yeah, noon Eastern, 9 o'clock Pacific. And then we're on tomorrow evening. Is it 8 p.m. Eastern time?
Yes, yes, it is.
Okay, great. So we'll be back on tomorrow at 8 p.m.
I look forward to it with Lincoln and Marcel, the whole family. That's if there's any lights left, Andrew, if they keep eating those tennis balls.
And everyone, please, during this time, do everything you can as an individual to protect ourselves collectively and support your own good health. When you support your own good health, that's what we do to support ourselves as a country.
Thank you and good night, everybody. Thanks for watching.
Sundays are for shopping and style here at HSN. Join me, Callie Northagen, for all the latest in fashion, footwear, and accessories. Watch live on HSN or the HSN app.
April is Customer Appreciation Month at HSN. While the world is changing, one thing will never change. You're part of our family, and we want to say thank you. It's customer appreciation all April long on HSN and hsn.com.
My singular goal is to improve the quality of people's lives. Everything we do is intended to be unlike any other company of our kind. We just make exceptional vitamins so you could have exceptional health. It's not important that you get the products I'm offering, but it's very important that you get the information I'm sharing, because information is the key to being a healthy person.